What are you at, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Lycos, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get the best ships in No Man's Sky. I make a ton of No Man's Sky content, so if you want to see more of my videos, it would be awesome if you would hit that subscribe button. Now, the newest way to get a great ship in No Man's Sky is to make your own custom ship. Now for this, you're going to need multiple ship parts. You're going to need the fuselage, you're going to need the wings, and the engines. As of right now, you can only choose from 3 different types of ships: the fighter, the hauler, and the explorer. So if you want to customize your perfect ship, you're going to need to find the parts that you want, which means you need to get a ship and then salvage it for the part, and you can only get 1 part per ship. So you're going to have to buy at least 3 ships or find and repair 3 crashed ships. You also need to get the reactor from the upgrade vendor, which is going to cost you thousands of nanites. Building your own custom ship is a great way to get one of the best ships in the game, but if you're new to No Man's Sky, you might not have enough currency to get one of these. But good news, I'm going to show you another method that's going to earn you a ton of units and nanites. At the same time, we're going to be farming some of the best ships in the game. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find a dissonant system. These are pretty common, and you'll be able to see it in the description of the system whether it's a dissonant system or not. So we're going to warp over there, and we're going to scan planets until we see dissonance detected in the description. So here we're going to be farming Sentinel ships, which are amazing ships and one of my favorite types of ships in No Man's Sky. So there are 2 different ways to farm these ships. A pretty fast way of finding one of these ships involves ship combat. So you're probably going to want a decent combat ship in order to do this. Now if you're really good at ship fighting, you could probably do this with pretty much any ship. Especially if you're new to the game, I recommend that you have a pretty decent combat ship if you're going to try this method. All you need to do is you go down to the planet's surface, you're going to find the corrupted sentinels down there, you're going to destroy one of them, and then you're just going to fly back out into space. Once you get out into space, there's going to be a sentinel interceptor that's going to warp in and start attacking you, and then you're going to take out wave after wave of sentinel ships until a sentinel capital ship shows up. The capital ship can be a little bit challenging, but you're going to want to get in underneath its shields, take out the shield generators, and then destroy the ship. But once you're able to take out that capital ship, you're going to get an item, and once you use it, it's going to show you exactly where you can find a sentinel interceptor. Now, the alternate method is to go down to the planet and fight the corrupted sentinels on foot, and you're going to just take them out until you get one of these items here, an echolocator. Once you use that, it's going to send you to a little camp. There's going to be a computer there, and once you figure out the little puzzle that's in the computer, you can actually search for a dissonant spike. And that will also take you right to a sentinel interceptor. Now once we arrive at the crashed interceptor, we're going to need to repair the ship. This is pretty straightforward. Everything you need to get is going to be right there on the planet. And lastly, you're going to need to activate the brain that you get from the crashed interceptor, and that's going to show you exactly where you need to go to replace it with a different brain that you're going to need to put into the interceptor in order to repair it. Like I said, this is all pretty straightforward, and you can have this done pretty quickly. Once we've repaired the ship, we're going to take it up to the space station, and we're going to scrap it at the ship outfitter. These ships scrap for millions of units. Sometimes you might get 20 or 30 million units worth of scrap from these ships. So we're going to be making a ton of units by doing this. And we're also going to get upgrades from these ships that we can then turn in for nanites. So if we hunt down enough of these ships, we're going to have more than enough units and nanites to be able to make our own custom ship. And if we farm up enough of these sentinel ships, we're bound to eventually find a really good sentinel interceptor. For instance, here I found an A class. So if you find an A class or an S class, feel free to keep that ship for yourself, especially if it's one that you think looks really cool. These are some of the best looking ships in the game. Now another method that you can use is just the old school ship hunting method, where you go from space station to space station trying to find the best ship that you can get. My favorite version of this is to go to a trading outpost and to check out the ships that are there, because you're going to see a lot more ships at a trading outpost than you will at a space station. Making your own custom ship is limited at this point. If you want a type of ship like the solar ship or exotic, finding them at a trading outpost is your best option. And if you are looking for parts for your custom ship, going to trading outposts is great for that as well. Now if you want to get the best upgrades for your ship, you're going to want to go to an outlaw system. On the space stations in the outlaw systems, you can get suspicious upgrades, and these have a chance to be some of the best upgrades in the game. There is a lot of luck with these suspicious upgrades. Sometimes they will be really bad, but with a bit of luck, after you've bought a few, you'll get some really great mods. You can buy these mods individually from the upgrade vendor, but also at the contraband agent, you can get suspicious packets of tech that you can buy for units, and these will give you random upgrades and not just ship upgrades. Sometimes you'll get a really good upgrade that you're going to want for your ship, but at the very least you'll have an upgrade that you can sell to the upgrade vendor for nanites. Now, if you're a new player, you're going to want to make sure that you go to the anomaly and talk to this vendor here, because he's going to sell you some amazing upgrades for your ship. This is where you can get the economy scanner. I use the economy scanner all the time in No Man's Sky to find trading outposts. This guy sells some amazing tech and upgrades for your ship, including weapons, warp upgrades, engine upgrades, and more. Now let's go back to the space station and check out the ship outfitting one last time. We're going back here because at this station you can also upgrade your ships. You can increase the inventory and upgrade the class of the ship as well. Increasing the inventory of your ship is very important for maximizing its potential. You can increase the cargo and the inventory for your technology. You're going to need a lot of units in order to get inventory space this way, but when we're scrapping ships, for instance when we were scrapping the Sentinel ships, you have a chance of getting a storage augmentation. And we can use those storage augmentations in order to increase our ship's inventory for free. So the more ships you scrap, the more opportunity you're going to have to get one of these storage augmentations. Here you can see one of my favorite ships. I've got this ship pretty well kitted out. I have some very good upgrades here, including suspicious upgrades. But a couple of things I want you to note here, especially if you're a new player, is that every ship is going to come with these supercharged slots. So you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of those. I usually like to put my infra knife in one of these slots and an upgrade for my infra knife. But if you want to boost one of your upgrades, make sure you're putting it into one of these supercharged slots. Also, you want to keep in mind that if your upgrades are next to the appropriate tech, they'll get a bonus for that as well. For instance, if you have an upgrade for the pulse engine, you want to have that upgrade next to the pulse engine or next to an upgrade for the pulse engine. Now you'll notice that if your upgrade is getting this bonus, it'll be highlighted with a colored outline surrounding it. Hope you guys got some useful information out of this video. If you want to see more of my No Man's Sky guides, there's a couple on the screen right now. Thank you all for watching, and as always, stay where you're at, and I'll come where you're to.